Ow! What the hell are you doing, Cartman? I'm killing you. But unfortunately, I could only afford a wiffle bat, so it's gonna take a while. Cartman! Don't fight it, Kyle. It will only take longer. Just slip into sweet unconsciousness.
You have ADD. It's an outdated term. It's just ADHD. So you have inattentive ADHD. It's just called ADHD. You must have ADHD combined type. It's just ADHD, and depending on the moment, it could present itself as inattentive or hyperactive. Why do I never see you bouncing off the walls? Because my hyperactivity presents itself more inward and through fidgeting. Then why are there 3 subtypes? There's not anymore. Why? We're getting better at science.
You wanted more ADHD tips? Or more that I use every day. Keep in mind, I'm medicated. First tip is for a thing you don't want to do. Tell yourself you're just going to do a minute of that thing. Lie. Set a timer for a minute. Usually you end up doing more than the minute. Next tip. I'm doing a task, especially one that takes a lot of steps. I need to say everything that I'm doing out loud. Otherwise I could get lost in my head and do something else. But if I say the thing out loud, it's like I'm listening to someone and then being reminded to do the thing. Does that make sense? Next tip. This is going to sound weird, but it's so helpful. I have a task I need to do. I need to get in the zone. I'll play the Mario Kart soundtrack in the background. Tell me this music doesn't say get shit done. All my tips are for everyone. Next tip. This one's for phone calls. If I'm on a phone call, even a personal call to a friend or a family member, I know I need to stay focused and engaged. I'll either pace around the house, do some dishes, or play like a very low attention game on my phone. That extra stimulus helps me stay there in the moment with the person and make sure I don't get distracted by something else. Like the internet. Okay, those are all the tips I could fit. Bye. Follow for more.
Each night before you go to bed, my baby.
You look so angry. I'm bored. I'm not supposed to get bored. Just do one of the 1,000 hobbies that you have. Wouldn't that be nice? No, my executive dysfunction is currently holding me in a no-mercy headlock. I think you're just being lazy. Have I taught you nothing? Right, sorry. Your executive dysfunction from your ADHD is not the same as being lazy because you can't control your executive dysfunction and it intrudes on your daily life. You are learning, my young Padawan.
Within you dies, don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. Don't you want somebody to love?
This is how I tripled my productivity as a student with ADHD. I've always struggled with being a really slow reader, so I use this Chrome extension called Speechify that will turn literally any text, physical or digital, into basically an audiobook. Plus, you can save whatever you're working on to the app or scan notes or textbooks so you can study on the go. Doing this has literally saved me hours of study time. You can download the extension for free at Speechify.com or click the link in my bio for the app.
Perks of being ADHD, I'm back. I forgot the part number, but we're just gonna roll with it. Neither you, me, nor God knows what we're about to say. It could be funny or hurtful. Even with the most specific of problems, we probably have a solution because all we do is think. You can pretty much call us at any time of day because we never fucking sleep. Caffeine doesn't do shit. We can remember the most random conversation and almost perfect fucking recall, but when it comes to remembering certain things that we have to, we can't. With as much chaotic neutral energy as we have, we can power a fucking city. I don't know if this one is just me, but we're really fucking good at analyzing patterns. We know exactly what we want to watch when we open Netflix. We have a bunch of random hidden talents. Like, not just like 1 or 2, but like 60 of them bitches. We can have a one-sided conversation with ourselves, that way we can figure out a problem easier. And like, that's like God tier. Not only do we see everything how it actually is, instead of seeing it the way we want to, we see what we can make it into.
Who's anything up in a car? Next words that come out of your mouth better be something helpful. Ready to comply. Sorry, it's a movie reference. Yeah, apparently I can't remember anything else for the life of me. Get it? Cause like, my life's in danger. Wait, I just remembered something. Nope, it's gone. God, just shut up, I need to think. Sorry. What are we gonna do with her? I mean, you can't kill her. She's our only lead. He's technically cooperating, so. Do you have anything we can use to find this guy? Should I start talking now? That's it. Whoa, easy boss, she's cooperating. Fine. Sit your ass down. You are on thin ice as it is. Fine. Oh wait, I got the guy's number. You have his number? Yeah. Want me to just call him? Why didn't you say that sooner? You didn't ask. She's got a point, boss. Shut up, nobody asked you.
You're telling me that my parents watched me be like... my whole life and, was just like, that's what neurotypical people do.
Frustration intolerance can be described as extreme feelings of frustration and/or incompetence during a seemingly simple or normal task that leads to an outburst of anger or other exaggerated emotion and a need to immediately quit the activity. An example of frustration intolerance might be trying to learn the piano. After hitting multiple wrong notes, you feel the need to stop immediately and are overwhelmed with emotion that can result in crying or angry outbursts. This does not include random unexplained mood swings or anger outbursts that are not in relation to a frustrating task.
Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling me like you wanted me, calling me like you wanted me, calling me.
Why are you cleaning the kitchen so fast? I want to see how much of the kitchen I can clean before the microwave beeps. 20 more seconds. Move. Can't remember why I walked into your room. Wait, you have ADHD. This must happen way more often. Way more often. Try counting your steps as you walk into a new room. It'll help you remember why you're walking into the room, because it'll give you something little to focus on, but not big enough to distract you. Why do you keep putting your keys in the laundry room? Somehow lose my keys every morning, and the first place that I go looking for them is the laundry room. So now I just have a designated storage spot for my keys in the laundry room.
The humiliation is too much to bear. There is but one way of honor. I must kill myself.
Tell me your best ADHD-specific study tips.
Hi, person with ADHD here. I'm working on my 4th degree. It's my 2nd master's degree, and I was on the honor roll for 8 out of the 9 years that I've been in school, and I've been a TA for 5 years, so maybe this information will help you. First off, this does take some planning and organization skills, which we are notoriously bad at, so use your phone to set reminders. About a week or 2 before your exam, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna write down everything that you learned onto a couple pieces of paper. If it takes like 6 or 7 pieces of paper, that's okay. Write down definitions, concepts, chapters, summaries, practice questions, anything that you want to. And then give yourself a couple days rest, and then go back at it and take everything from those 5 or 6 pieces of paper and condense it down to like 3-ish pieces of paper. Take a couple days rest and do the same thing and get all the information from the 3 pieces of paper down to 1 piece of paper. As you're condensing, try and keep like concepts together. You can do it in like a mind map form or something if that helps. But the simple act of reorganizing and condensing will help that material get into your brain. I have so many other tips, so please follow me for more.
Who wants it?
I love your personality.
Thanks. It's a disorder.
So having a brain with ADHD is a lot like having a manual transmission engine. A neurotypical person's brain is a lot more like an automatic transmission. It shifts gears, you don't really need to do anything, the car just gets you where you need to go. You don't need to think about what's happening when you change gears. The ADHD brain is more like a stick shift. We can change gears, but we kind of need to know how to do it, and it's more of like an intentional process. So what I'm really talking about here are transition rituals. If you struggle with starting something or stopping something, breaking hyperfocus, getting into a task, doing a routine you know you should do, it may be that you need a transition ritual. My opinion is that the best transition rituals are sensory based. So when I start work, I don't just sit down on my computer and start work. I get out a mug, I put it next to the oven, I make a cup of tea, I clean my desk, and by the time all of that is done, the tea is steeping, I'm holding the warm cup in my hands, I'm smelling the smell of the tea, and when I sit down at my tidy desk, I feel ready to focus. All of those steps and that sensory input tells my brain, it is time to work now.
1738. Hey, I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? Hey, seen your pretty ass soon as you came through the door.
I don't know when, I don't know how, but I've got no motivation right now. Watch and you'll see the struggle in me. ADHD.
And now, an experiment. If you want to know what it feels like to have ADHD, use the 3 times filter. If you talk at a pace that feels normal and natural to you, the rest of the world perceives that as going way, way too fast. Now, imagine that you have to spend this much physical and mental energy slowing down your thoughts just to be understood and to communicate effectively. Imagine how exhausted you would be at the end of every day.
Failure knows what drugs, exercise, and your partner all have in common with the ADHD brain. These three things, on top of many more, end up becoming extremely satisfying towards a dopamine-deficient brain because these three things create a flooding of dopamine throughout your body. This is what creates addictive tendencies towards these subjects. Now, the one thing that a lot of people don't tell you about is the idea that when we find something that becomes very, very self-satisfactory to us, we stick with that subject. This is why drug addicts become extremely addicted to drugs. This is why people that go to the gym try to become bodybuilders all the time. And this is why when you hang out with your partner, they tend to become your world. What can end up happening for people with ADHD is we put all of these things up on pedestals and they are the thing that creates satisfaction for us. This is why when your partner wants to go out and you were just sitting on the couch and you go, "Where are you going? We were doing something." It's the idea that they are our satisfaction. They are our everything and we're craving their attention. What we need to realize is becoming dopamine deficient before hanging out with people or doing these things can change our world.
ADHD tip of the day.
Sleep of the dead is something that a lot of people with ADHD suffer from. It basically means that no matter what you do, you can't get a good night's sleep and you sleep incredibly deeply.
Sometimes your body will just refuse to wake up in general.
Tom, wake up.
Set 2 alarms. Wake up to the first alarm and eat a small snack with your medication. Then take your medication. Wake up to your second alarm a whole new person, ready to start the day.
You're not gonna like this one. If you're on ADHD TikTok, you've probably seen videos about ADHD paralysis, which is the idea that you can get overwhelmed by everything that you have to do and render yourself unable to choose, or you have something really important later on in the afternoon so you can't get anything done during the morning. And both of those are pretty common experiences for people with ADHD. But today I want to talk about one that we don't talk about nearly as often, which is what I like to call ADHD marathoning. Because for some of us, ADHD paralysis is not an option. And that can be for a lot of reasons. Maybe you're a caretaker or have a high-pressure job, or you're just a burnt-out, gifted, and talented kid. But for you, it becomes trying to do it all. So then rather than surrender to that paralysis, you go the complete opposite direction, and you completely burn yourself out trying to get everything done. Because failure is not an option. You can't get overwhelmed. Or maybe you absolutely are. But either way, you would rather risk burning yourself out and doing way too much rather than feel like for even an instant, you're not doing enough.